Hello traders, today is the 28th of April. My name is Neville Hornsey, market and ActivTrader trading, and today I'll be looking at the dollar versus the yen. Okay, I'm starting with the monthly chart, dollar versus the yen. We can see here that I've drawn a inverted head and shoulders pattern because the most obvious patterns are the ones that generally get traded by everybody else. And if you look here, we've got left shoulder, then down to the dip in 2011. I made that the head. The dip down into 2016 is the right shoulder. And if we were to get a monthly close above the 125, around this 130, that's above the neckline. And then that's the signal, if you like, for anyone that's watching this pattern to trade to the upside. Other traders will be looking at an AB equals CD, so looking for some sort of measured move, and that would take us up towards 150 as well. So depending on which pattern you're looking at, things look like they're going higher. Looks like we're going to take out the next two sort of major swing highs, which takes us back to 1998 and then the 150s. And then that leaves this one solitary swing high here from 1990 around the 160 sort of level. There's not a lot of market structure there, so we could just cut through this volume gap. All right, so that's the monthly chart. If we go down to daily, obviously anyone that's looking to get in on a trend based on the sort of strategy that I have been sort of looking at recently, we need to wait for a big pullback. There's no point chasing prices now. Yes, we could get a move up to the 135 quite quickly. We're obviously seeing prices accelerate in the dollar versus the yen. And a lot of that is down to what happened this morning with the Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda having a press conference talking about monetary policy. Obviously, if we just look through here, it says it's appropriate to patiently maintain current powerful monetary easing to support the economy. So they're not looking to raise rates. They're not looking to reduce balance sheets in the way that the US and everybody else is talking about. The Bank of Japan is very aware that a lot of central banks, especially in the West, are looking to normalize their policy. If we go to trading economics, we can see here that inflation rates in the United States, the Euro area, especially Germany, United Kingdom, essentially are above 7. And other major economies are moving towards 7. The United States is lagging behind inflation rates. So they're obviously in a rate hike cycle. And if we look to what's happening in Russia and Brazil, their economies are under a lot of stress. We've seen inflation rates go through the roof. Russia has actually dropped their interest rate from 20% down to 17%. The higher these rates go, the quicker inflation rate is supposed to come down because it's supposed to cool the economy. So we're going to see if that actually plays out. Going back to the ActivTrader platform, looking to the left, sentiment is showing that 70% of traders on this platform are trying to short. So we're still waiting for these guys to get stopped out. Maybe their stops are actually above the 135 level, and we shall wait and see there. Obviously, I need to see a pullback on the Bollinger Band percentage B down to below the sort of zero signal line to look for a trade. We had one back in November 2021. So if we were to sort of stick with this strategy, we need to see that. Otherwise, we're just looking for continuation trades to the upside on a smaller time frame. So whilst we're seeing this big push up today back on the back of that press conference, if we do get a sell-off, just to sort of close or backfill some of these imbalances, hopefully we get a signal on the setup below the zero line here, and then wait for a close back above the 9-period moving average later on. All right, just going through what is affecting the dollar and yen especially. We can see here that crude oil prices have been rising since the pandemic lows when we had Russia and Saudi Arabia sort of crushing the oil prices. That's in black. This is the real yields in red. So we can see that we've been pushing up towards normalization, zero line going into positive territory in the real yields. And then if you look here, we've got the blue, which is the inflation expectations. And if you look to the left, current expectations are for 3% inflation in the sort of 10 years sort of time. Now in blue, so real yields here are just below zero. And the Japanese yen, you can see, is collapsing against the dollar a lot quicker as these real yields rise. And again, the dollar versus the yen in blue and the crude oil prices in black. We can see that as The crude prices have steadily increased. The yen has suffered at that because they're an exporting nation. Now, after the Bank of Japan's governor's speech, the yen is the weakest currency currently across the board. So it doesn't matter which pair you're looking at, you're looking to go short the yen. And if we go back through, we saw that retail sales year over year in Japan actually beat expectations, and the preliminary industrial production month over month, their previous reading actually got revised higher to 2%. So overall, economic data is actually quite good today. So it's all about the Bank of Japan's outlook report, and then that statement that was made earlier today by the governor. So at the moment, policy divergence between the Bank of Japan doesn't look like it's going to change. They're going to keep everything easy to support the economy for a lot longer, and they have no intention of changing that. Whereas we're looking at the dollar and saying, well, the Fed over the next couple of months are looking to raise rates by at least 50 basis points at each meeting, and then obviously get towards the 2.75% interest rate by the end of the year. So dollar versus the yen going a lot higher for a lot longer. We just need to work out how we're going to get involved. And at the moment, I'm not saying we sort of marry a trade. We're looking for a pullback on the daily time frame. But whilst we're sort of in this big surge up, maybe go to a smaller time frame, wait for a pullback, buy the dip, wait for an imbalance to get filled, and then look to initiate a long if everything is sort of working out as we're expecting. Okay, that's the dollar versus the yen. I'll speak to you again tomorrow.